Life is about more than just making money so you can spend it. We live in a society where success is often measured by how much money someone has. The more money you make, the more successful people assume you are. And to be fair, there is some truth to that. Someone who consistently earns a lot of money has probably become very good at something, whether it's building a business, selling a product, creating value, or mastering a skill. Money can be a reflection of competence. That's why it's easy to confuse wealth with success. But here's the thing, success comes in more than one form. Money is one way to measure success, but it's not the only way. Because if wealth were the only thing that mattered, then every rich person would be fulfilled, every celebrity would be happy, and every person with a high paying job would wake up excited for the day ahead. And we all know that's not true. So, beautiful people out there, let's talk about it. Hey, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Victor Canchola, Cancholi on my Spanish channel and here on my English channel too. And welcome to the video, my friend. And while we're at it, if you speak Spanish or don't mind subtitles, feel free to check out my other channel as well. Oh my god, I sometimes feel like Dora the Explorer. Actually, that's why the gameplay is in Spanish. As you can see, I just forgot to change the settings. Anyway, I make videos about topics like this one, along with plenty of other introspective thoughts that usually start with a simple question and somehow end with me questioning my entire existence. So today we're going to talk about success. What I was trying to explain in the intro is that being wealthy doesn't automatically make someone successful, especially if they didn't actually earn that wealth themselves. Now, before anyone starts typing an angry comment, I know this depends on how you define success. And that's kind of the whole point of this video. Let's use a simple example. Imagine I'm walking down the street and I find a stack of cash lying on the ground. Just like that, I have more money than I did 5 minutes ago. The money is mine now. It's sitting in my hands, but I didn't earn it. So here's the question, am I successful? If your only measure of success is the amount of money someone has, then technically the answer would be yes, right? But I imagine a lot of people would say something different. They would probably say that I just got lucky. I happened to be in the right place at the right time. Now let's scale that idea up. Instead of finding a few bills on the sidewalk, imagine I inherit a family business, or a large piece of land, or maybe a generous trust fund or a massive life insurance payout. I don't know. Would I be successful simply because I now own those things? For me, the amount of money changes, but the principle stays the same. It's still good fortune. And don't get me wrong, if you happen to inherit any of those things, good for you, use them wisely. I'm not complaining. What I'm trying to say is that people often use money as a shortcut for measuring success because money gives you options, influence, and freedom. It gives you power. And I'm definitely not saying money doesn't matter, it matters a lot. You need money for almost everything in modern life. What I'm saying is that the things with the deepest value usually can't be bought. They have to be earned, they have to be built, and they have to be conquered. And that's where I think success really lives, at least for me. Success is achieving a meaningful goal, whatever that goal happens to be. That's why success looks different for everyone. For one person might be building a business, for another it might be raising a family, for someone else it could be mastering a craft, helping people, creating art, or overcoming a challenge that nobody else even knows about. The goal itself isn't the important part. What's important is that it's yours and that you were the one who put in the work to achieve it. The first thing you need is a clear goal. It sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't achieve much because they don't actually have anything they are trying to achieve. They haven't chosen a target. They're just moving through life, existing, kind of like an ocean sunfish. Have you ever seen one of those things? It's this giant fish that basically floats around the ocean, looking like it forgot what it was supposed to be doing. That's how a lot of people live their lives, just drifting, and that's why having a goal matters. In fact, this topic deserves an entire video of its own, and I'll probably make one in the future. If you happen to speak Spanish, I've already talked about it on my Spanish channel. Well, it's in my Spanish channel whether you speak the language or not. But for now, let's assume that if you're watching this video, it's because you want something out of life. You want to achieve something, you want to move toward a goal. In my experience, people usually reach that point for one of two reasons. The first is that they realize they've been living below their true potential, they know they are capable of more, and the second is that they are simply tired. Tired of the same routine, the same repetition, the same cycle every day, and eventually that kind of life starts to wear on you. Unfortunately, that second reason is probably more common. People change because they are fed up, but honestly, it doesn't really matter why you are here. What matters is that you are here. And if you're one of those people who wants more out of life because you know you have untapped potential, that's a great thing. Don't let anyone call you arrogant for believing you're capable of more. You know what you're capable of when you truly commit yourself. And there's a quote I really like: a person discovers their greatness when they realize they deserve more. And I'm not talking about ego, I'm talking about alignment, about making your actions match the person you want to become. If you want more from life, then eventually your behavior has to reflect that desire. Psychologists like Abraham Maslow talk about self actualization, the idea of becoming the fullest version of yourself and continuing to grow throughout your life. And if you're feeling stuck right now, remember this: for things to change, you have to change first. If you don't change, nothing changes. You can't expect a different result from the same actions over and over again. That just doesn't make sense. So let's recap. Success isn't just having money or living a luxurious life. Success is choosing a meaningful goal, pursuing it, and becoming a better person in the process. That goal should be clear, specific, well thought out, because once you know where you're trying to go, you can finally start taking the right steps to get there. And most people begin that journey for one of two reasons. Either they are tired of feeling stuck, or they finally realized how much potential they really have. Once you have a goal, the next step is improving yourself because the version of you that exists today is perfectly equipped to get the results you are getting today. If you want more, you have to become more. And I know that sounds like one of those inspirational quotes somebody posts over a video of a guy staring at a sunset, I don't know, but stay with me in this one. Think about it. The person you are right now isn't necessarily the person capable of achieving the goals you have in mind. You have to grow into that person. This is where personal development stops being motivational fluff and starts becoming practical. Development means growth. The goal is to improve yourself so you are capable of doing the things you want to do. And whether we like it or not, it shows. When someone works on themselves, it shows. When they don't, it shows even more. A better version of you is capable of producing different results. Let's use an example. Could you run a marathon today? If the answer is yes, that's impressive. But if the answer is no, then you need to train. You would have to improve your fitness, your endurance, your cardiovascular health, your strength. In other words, you'll need to become a different version of yourself physically before you could complete the marathon. The exact same principle applies everywhere else: mentally, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually. Every meaningful goal requires some form of growth. The goal isn't the challenge is becoming the kind of person who can achieve it. And here's where I might commit a small crime against the internet's obsession with hard work. Just because you work harder doesn't mean you will achieve more. Now, before anyone gets upset, I'm not against hard work. I truly think hard work matters, but effort by itself isn't enough. The world doesn't reward effort nearly as much as it rewards results. And results usually come from effectiveness, not just intensity. You need to do quality work, and quality work comes from having better skills, and better skills come from investing in yourself. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are managing two salespeople at a call center. The first salesperson makes 20 calls a day and closes zero deals. The second salesperson makes only two calls and closes both of them. Who deserves the higher paycheck? The person who worked harder or the person who produced the result? Some people don't like that question, but the reality is that the second salesperson probably worked harder than it appears. Maybe not today, but at some point. They learned how to communicate better, they studied sales, they improved their technique, they practiced. Let's say they developed themselves until they could achieve more with less effort. And if that example doesn't work for you, let's use Minecraft. What's more valuable? Three wooden pickaxes that take forever to mine stone, or one diamond pickaxe that gets the job done faster and more efficiently? Which one would you rather have? Exactly. There is a verse in the Bible that says, "You will know them by their fruits." In other words, results matter. You can work incredibly hard. You can give something your maximum effort, but if there's no result, then maybe what you're developing isn't effectiveness. Maybe you're just developing endurance. And again, I'm not saying hard work doesn't work. I'm saying smart, focused, and intentional work is worth more. Work that has direction, work that's planned, work that's connected to a specific goal. And if you combine that with hard work, then you've got something powerful. Because the people who consistently achieve more with less effort aren't usually lucky. They've spent years developing skills that most people never see. From the outside, it looks effortless. From the inside, it was years of preparation. The ability to create meaningful results over time comes from developing yourself first. And the more valuable your skills become, the more valuable you'll become to employers, clients, customers, or the people you are trying to help. And please don't leave this video thinking it was just another nice message from some guy on YouTube. This is meant to be practical. The whole point of this video is to get you to improve yourself in pursuit of your goals. I want you to take an honest look at your life and ask yourself, where am I falling short? What skills am I missing? What weaknesses are holding me back? What areas of my life need work? Once you've identified those things, the next step is simple. Put in effort, do things differently, find an approach that actually works for you because nobody else can do that part for you, my brother. And remember, everything we've talked about today is really just the first step. You could even call it step zero, because before any of this matters, you need to know what you're aiming for. You need a clear goal, a clear destination. Otherwise, what exactly are you developing yourself for? Yeah, now you might be wondering, why should I listen to you? I don't even know you. Fair question. My answer is simple. You have nothing to lose by testing these ideas for yourself. If you apply them, and a few months from now you find yourself making progress toward a goal that once felt impossible, come back and let me know. I would genuinely love to hear about it. And if you are feeling stuck right now, if what you've been doing isn't producing the results you want, then trying a different approach isn't exactly a crazy idea. Or am I missing something, my brother? I think it's worth experimenting not because I'm the one saying it, but because growth usually starts when we are willing to consider something new. A lot of people stay stuck because their ego won't let them learn. Pride is often the enemy of progress. You can pour more water into a cup that's already full. Sometimes we assume we are above the lesson because we think we are smarter than the teacher or more experienced or that there's nothing left for us to learn. That's a dangerous mindset. Lower your guard a little. Stay curious. Put your brain into learning mode. That's where growth happens. And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final question. How tall does a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. Maybe that's what we are supposed to do too. Anyway, that's all for today. If you want more content, come hang out with me on social media. Things get pretty interesting over there. Thank you very much for spending a few minutes of your day with me. Feel free to check out more of my videos both in English and Spanish. And if you enjoyed this one, leave a like and let me know in the comments what resonated with you the most. I appreciate you being here and take care of yourself. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao.